Welcome to the Prospect Warehouse podcast. If you're watching, you completely just missed John he has an automated standing desk. You like literally press a button and it happened. It's like Iron Man style.
Yep, standing desk. It's got the hydraulic thing, whatever. It's like cheap on Amazon. Stuff's so cheap these days. It's amazing. But highly recommend. Got to stand up and stretch the back for anybody who's got a desk job.
Yeah, I do that, and I don't have an automated one though. Mine is like a old truck where you have to roll the window up with the hand crank or something like that.
Yeah, check it out.
I have to use physical effort.
Can see my torso. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
So I was also blowing my nose. I got that in before the video came on because it's almost 40 degrees today, which is amazing. Not to be the weather bro, but we're sick and winter's getting there, and Tim doesn't know anything about it. But we're getting close, and it's like this has easily been the worst winter I can remember. So it's like spring training and opening day, and warm temperatures are going to hit like they never have before. It's going to be great.
We had like 3 cold days or something this year.
Yeah,
it sucked. My wife was complaining because her hands got chapped and her joints or whatever. And it's funny because we'd always talked about like, okay, if we buy a second house or whatever, like all these people in Florida, they always like to move to Carolina when they retire. They go to like South Carolina in the mountains or whatever.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it is funny. And then, yeah, exactly. All the Midwesterners come to Florida, and then all the Floridians move out to the Carolinas because they're like, nah.
It goes to show, just nobody's ever happy. You only like your 50 degrees probably feels exactly the same to you like 10 degrees does to me. Neither of us is like in reality, they're different things, but perception and like the actual our feelings and our attitudes toward are legitimately the same. You can't even say they're different. I can't even really say that you're being a baby for calling 50 cold. It's because everything is based on the average. Like we do these F scores based on the 100 average, but that's just real life, baby. I mean, 10% below average is the same for everybody, no matter what the baseline is. There's a study in this book I read that like they studied happiness they looked at like 2 groups of people. One group of people that just won the lottery. They won a ton of money. The second group of people was people that just had a horrific accident, lost a leg or an arm or a limb. Then like 6 months later, they went and studied their reported happiness, exactly the same, because it doesn't matter. Like nobody compares their life with the lowest possible outcome. They just compare it with what it was like the other day. So like we're all pretty much the same. And that's a big lesson to learn for me, so we need to start grading everything in life on this 100 scale, with 100 being your average. I don't even know what my point is, but that's something.
It's all relative. That's your point.
Yes. So So
it's all relative. So we're going to be talking about outfielders in this podcast. It's Redraft Outfielders. And one thing that John and I have been working on is that we have been doing very well. We appreciate all you fine people for the listens. So we've been getting a lot of listens and a lot of views lately on the channel. And also, John was posting the other day that his written content is like top 5 or something in the industry. So we're getting a lot of eyeballs. We're getting a lot of ears. We're getting a lot of good things happening at the MLB Data Warehouse.
I mean, volume-wise, I think we have the most actual volume, and then plus the tools and stuff. I don't know. It seems like written fantasy content is kind of going the way of the dodo bird, and like people aren't doing it as much, but I'm doing it more than ever. So
people don't like to read. Everyone listens to books. People don't even read books nowadays, man. Everyone uses Audible. So it's podcasts and YouTube video are the way to go. The good thing about the YouTube, if you're watching, is that you can watch and listen at the same time, or kind of like listen and then look when you feel like, hey, I want to look at that on your own time. So that's good. I mean, like how many of us watch TV and are like doing other things at the same time?
Yeah,
right. Like usually when I have the TV on, I'll have baseball on or whatever, and I'll be like working on my computer at the same time. I'm not just like looking on one thing, because that's just how we are nowadays. We have a 0 attention span. And it's like we always feel like we have to be multitasking just to stay afloat, because there's so much crap that we have to deal with nowadays. Emails, mail, like there's so much incoming stuff all the time. Never ends. It's like you ever watch that episode of Seinfeld with Newman And he's like, they're like, oh, how come all the mailmen go postal or whatever? And he's like, the mail never stops.
Part of that. I didn't watch the show. I was watching Full House and stuff. I was a sheltered kid, you know.
Man, Seinfeld was it.
Yeah.
Show still talk about relativity. That show is still relevant even today,
Yeah.
despite the complete difference in
I
technology
have like a bruise on my head, dude.
now.
I'm just seeing this. I have a. Is this a pimple? I have like a pimple on my forehead. What in the world?
You
Okay.
look like one of my kids because they face plant like every other
Yeah, I didn't do that. That's a pimple. How embarrassing. I'm
spider.
35 years old. It's a freaking forehead pimple. This is terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, what you were gonna say? Well, tell us what you're gonna say because we're trying to make. We want to make money. I want to make $1 million a year doing stuff I like and nothing that I don't like, so I can quit my other job. So Tim's gonna,
Yeah. So
lay it out.
basically, we are asking for you fine people. If anyone would like to advertise with MLB Data Warehouse, we are open to taking advertisements.
Yes.
So if anyone is looking to advertise, reach out to John or reach out to me, and we'll line it up to advertise on the pod or on MLB Data Warehouse to get your whatever you're trying to sell out there. I mean, like, I don't know, how picky are we going to be on what you're selling? Are we going to promote like, probably has to be PG,
I'm
PG,
not gonna
I
get
would
in.
say.
Yes, we're definitely not gonna get into like the OnlyFans business. Probably not gonna like advertise for the Quran or like any things that I don't agree with. But you have to be open to stuff. If that sounds interesting at all, we'll move on. But I have full stats and stuff. You can see the audience demographics and whatnot. That's available upon request. So
yes, eyeballs, ears, it can all be had for relatively surprisingly low cost.
yeah,
So
it's definitely cheap
anyway,
compared to other things. But let's
yes,
talk about
exactly.
outfielders.
Anyway,
100 outfielders. We're gonna go quickly.
Yeah, we're going to try to crank through these because guess what? Most leagues are 3 or 5 outfielders.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys are going to be relevant in most leagues. So that means we have to talk through a lot of dudes pretty quickly. But we're going to do this in tiers and kind of go by tier blocks.
Outfield's my least favorite. Pitchers is a lot too. Like you typically have to go like 75 to 100 pitchers deep no matter. But at least they're kind of fun to talk about. Outfielders are less fun to talk about, and there's so many of them.
Yeah.
I'm writing the outfield. I read my outfield preview too. Yeah. A lot of them are the same. Like, so we'll do our best.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll try to talk in tiers here. The first 10, like I would probably tier these guys, John, as like a top 6 or a top 7, and then the next guys would fall under a completely different tier here. Again, these are my rankings, not John's. Yes. So John's may vary a little bit. And if you're watching on YouTube or Xvision, you can see the F scores. So number 1 is Aaron Judge. The 158 power, that'll do it, right? Like if you hit 50 bombs a year, like you're going to be pretty freaking good. And he's been healthy the last, 5 years? He hasn't had injury issues for a while, like major injury issues. So he's been, I think, he missed like 20 games or something last year or something. But he's been pretty healthy the last 5 years or so. Like he had injury concerns earlier in the career with the back and all that, but he's been pretty good lately. So Aaron Judge is number 1, Corbin Carroll number 2, Ronald Acuna Jr. number 3, Juan Soto number 4, James Wood number 5, Julio Rodriguez number 6, Kyle Tucker number 7. That's kind of like where I would end that top tier. 8, Tatis. Like a lot of people want to include Tatis as like a top guy, but he hasn't ever since like the steroid thing. Like really, he has not been the same player since then. So like I kind of feel like he's not in the tier with those other guys, and maybe even Tucker. Tucker had a pretty bad second half. He just signed for a ton of money. I mean, like, it's good that he's going to be with the Dodgers because he's going to get a ton of counting stats, like a ridiculous amount of counting stats. Because if he was not with the Dodgers, I probably would not have him in that tier with the other 6. But since he's on the Dodgers, I'll throw him in there. But then we've got Tatis, Wyatt Langford at 9, and Riley Green at 10 is my top 10. But, like, definitely those top 7 are, like, the elite tier. And then Tatis, Langford, and Green are kind of falling into the second tier, in my opinion.
James Wood is high here. Do you want to talk about that? Because he was not good in the second half last year. A lot of strikeouts.
Power speed is really good for James Wood. And remember, he's going to be he was 22 last year. He's going to be like a young 23 this year. so he's going to keep getting better.
Yeah.
He had 31 homers and 15 steals last year, and he hits the ball really hard. A 94 average exit velocity is phenomenal. And like the only thing really you can talk bad about with James Wood is he hits the ball on the ground too much.
Yes.
Like he almost had a 50% ground ball rate. If he can start lifting the ball, like as he matures here, if he can just start lifting the ball, like we've got a 40-20 guy or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it starts lifting the ball, strikes out a little bit less. Like everything behind the hood is phenomenal. Like 16% barrel rate, 118 max EV. Like he smashes the ball, steals bags, knocks homers, middle of the lineup. Young, and he's going to keep getting better as he improves. So like, yeah, I think James Wood definitely should be in that conversation because like, what do you expect from Tatis? Wouldn't you be happy with a 35-15 season from Tatis? So like, why should you why should you view Tatis and James Wood any differently? And Wood is younger and has had less injury issues and didn't do steroids. So
I guess I have Wood at 10, so I thought he was lower when you filter out all the other infielders and stuff. So he just like from July 1st on, he hit 226, 9 homers, like 307 OBPs. OBP's not going to be anything. He walks a good bit, but a lot of strikeouts. You're right about the ceiling being up there with Carroll and Acuna, like no doubt. But you're just taking on a little bit of risk. They're one of those cold streaks when you need them. But I guess it's not much different. Well, I have Riley Green. I do not have this high. I have Riley Green down at my 18th. So I guess we're not too far off again. But no steals, lower probably batting average, but 40 bombs last year, whatever it was, right? 38, something like that. So big power, it's high floor.
Look at that hit, man. Look at that. If you're watching right now, you can see he has a 111 hit tool on the F scores, which is really high. I think we talked about before that hit.
Yeah.
Hit has the least disparity of any of these F scores. So like a 111 is really, really good for the hit tool. And people are going to see, if you're watching, you're going to see Soto at 88. You're going to like, what the heck? The reason Soto's hit is so low is just because he doesn't swing very much. And for high batting average and for doing damage, we want guys who are going to swing a lot. But it's just kind of like his discipline and his hit tool kind of like counterbalance. Just kind of interesting.
He has
Riley Green's a really good hitter. So
yeah, the batting average, it's not great, but it's not going to go low. I was really surprised. I looked like a couple weeks ago at which hitters are putting up high BABIPs every single year. It was Bichette, Marsh, Yelich, Ellie, Riley Green, and Acuna. These guys have been over 320 like every single year since 2021 that they've qualified. So hard hit line drives is the story there. So he's pretty reliable for that. So it's not crazy. I would just probably rather have some steals. But if you get steals early, you don't have to worry about it too much. And Green has that like 40 homer, 280 batting average ceiling. So
he has a 70, or last year he had a 76.6% zone swing rate. That's insane. Like that's a ridiculous zone swing rate. So like he's pretty good at making the right decisions on his swings to swing in the zone. And also he hits the ball really hard. Like his power's kind of underrated. I don't know if people realize, but he had 36 bombs last year. And the Tigers are getting better. Like they're a team that's getting better, and he's still young. Like he hasn't even theoretically reached his peak yet. He's going to be 25 next year. So like there could be room for improvement. And another thing too is like, even though you said he doesn't steal bags, he's not slow. Like he's a pretty athletic guy. I feel like he's the type that if you wanted to, he could just go off and do like a Josh Naylor thing and have like 20 steals if he really wanted to. It's not like he's, not athletic or not slow. Like he's actually like decent, has a decent amount of foot speed, but he's just not using it.
Yeah. Yeah. He was always one of those guys that hit the ball in the air really hard. So you could but he was also hitting ground balls, like kind of the James Wood thing. And he kind of figured that out last year. So it wasn't, nobody should have been surprised if you were really following the smart metrics. You shouldn't have been surprised to see like a 35 homer season. It was 36 last year. But the K came up 31%. Like he kind of had to give up some of that contact for the extra homers. He'll take it, but I just don't know about like being in love with him in a 5x5 roto situation. But power isn't the easiest thing to find, and he's definitely one of the better ones. So I'm gonna go. We're switching to screenshots now. So
should be a solid 4 category contributor, I would say.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to the next 10 here. Unless you have, you want to bring them up there?
No, sorry, that was a mistake.
That was a mistake. Okay, there
Hold
we go.
on.
Oh,
Here
no,
it
you
comes.
had
Here it
it.
comes. Here it
What are you
comes.
doing here, John?
There it is.
All right. We got 11 through 20. Number 11 is PCA, P. Crow Armstrong. Obviously, like, pretty volatile player, right? So, like, I don't know. You could get really good or
Yeah.
MVP type stuff, or you could get, like, terrible. I have him ranked ahead of Chorio, which is an interesting decision. Just a lot of that is based on the F scores.
That is crazy.
Because he has a higher power grade than Chorio. A big part of that, I think, is Chorio just doesn't swing to optimal power angles. Obviously, Chorio's younger. He's still only going to be. Can you believe this? That Chorio's going to be 22 next year. He's been. This is going to be his third full season. He's going to be 22. So
yeah,
Chorio
it was like him, Soto, Acuna, and Vlad to debut as teenagers or something like recently. Like he's an elite company there. So
don't forget Didier Fuentes,
Yeah.
our boy, 19-year-old making a start in the major leagues is insane.
Here's PCA's. You just to wrap it up on PCA, like ceiling is there. We saw it in the first half, but then again, like he swings so much. He just like chases it. People say he chases a lot, obviously true, but he just swings a lot. Like that's just kind of that thing. He's just super aggressive. And I think pitchers kind of figured out like, hey, we don't really need to give this guy anything to hit. We're trying to buy some free strikes with him chasing bad pitches. But I mean, yeah, he hit. This is right. Yeah, he hit 160 in August, one homer, and hit 3 homers in September. Like it was a rough second half of the season, but probably some room to improve and to do more than that. The thing I like about PCA is you'll get one or the other. Like you're going to get the steals, and if the power comes back and if that stays consistent, then it's kind of gravy. But I think it's fine to have him as your top outfielder, but there's a little bit more of a floor than one of the other guys. I certainly wouldn't take him over Churio.
Is he the Ozzy Albies of outfield? Like, would you say? Where like Ozzy Albies, like for whatever reason, is just like he swings a lot, like the chase rates are ugly, but then he's still just good and he's still like putting up power speed.
Yeah, you have that kind of fluctuation. I think PCA has more, not a ton of power, but he's got probably more than Albies ever did. Air pull is really good with him. Like he gets the ball in the right in the right spots and stuff. So, and more speed. He's the fastest guy in the league, right? 99th, 100%.
He's also much bigger. He's like way bigger than Albies. Albies is like a 5. Albies is a dock height. He's a fun size height, whereas Pete Crow is like a real man.
Yeah, and he'll play every single day. Like even if he's hitting 100 for the month, he's got to be out there in center field for the defense. So you have that going for you.
Yep. So we have PCA at 11, Jackson Chorio at 12, Byron Buxton at 13, which is like it is crazy last year. We actually got to see how good Byron Buxton could be if he stayed healthy and as like the one season ever. So like, can we really expect that to happen again? So that's the risk with Buxton if you draft him, is just the injury risk, because otherwise, like from a statistical standpoint, he probably would be a top 10 guy. Jackson Merrill is 14. Yordan Alvarez 15. Again, injury concerns. Like Yordan, I feel like is always hurt, and I drafted him last year and TGFBI, and I think I finished like 7th or 8th, and I was just completely missed Yordan. And then I had a pitcher too. I drafted a pitcher that missed like the whole season. And like there's like my ace just like missed the whole season. I can't remember if it was Burns or what, but I had like Burns and Yordan were like 2 of my top 4 picks or something like that. And then I was still like finished in the middle. I was like, man, if those 2 guys actually had panned out, my team would have been pretty good. But Cody Bellinger 16, Seiya Suzuki 17, Joe Adell 18, Kyle Stowers 19, Tyler Soderstrom 20. We talked about Soderstrom in the first base category. It all depends on what league you're in. Like most leagues, he will have first in outfield because he started as the first baseman last year until Kurtz came up. But obviously, he's not going to carry that forward into like future seasons. He's just going to be outfield only. Who do you like out of this group, John?
Bellinger for safety. Man, I like Merrill a good bit. Just a little bit of a discount on him. People don't like him, I guess, because we've seen him be like elite and then really bad last year, but he was hurt a lot. And I guess like the skills, he doesn't hit the ball crazy hard. He doesn't run super fast. Like he's not the most talented guy. It's so crazy to call professional athletes not talented or not athletic or whatever. I love when people call NFL running backs like he's not even athletic. It's like, okay, yeah. I know, I get it. It's relative. It's the same thing what we talked about at the beginning. Like you're comparing with the average NFL running back, but it's just a little bit. It's crazy to hear the words Jackson Merrill is not that athletic come out of my mouth, but you get what I'm saying. I don't understand Joe Adell being this high. I mean, 1 year of hitting a bunch of home runs after his career was a total bust. I get it. Like he was great last year, and he maybe even can steal more bases this year because he did all that kind of not even healthy last year. But this is aggressive on Adele.
F scores like it, man, and he has a lot of pedigree still too. So F scores really like him, and he was mashing taters. He finished strong too. Second half, it's not like he was like a Pete Crow where he had a really strong first half and then teetered out in the second half. It was opposite. He like finished the season strong.
Home runs at least, yeah.
He didn't hit. Yeah, I mean, he could hit 40 bombs. So
he hit over 250 in 1 month. So he hit 236 for the year, 37 homers, 5 steals. It was no surprise that he was going to hit a bunch of home runs if he lowered this K rate. And that was the key. 26% K rate really lowered that. And again, like the thing that's kind of has me holding on to him, because it feels a little bit like a buy high, like he just couldn't do it for years. He was the top MLB prospect in 2020. I think, and just took him this long to figure it out. And he still only had 236. So I could see him going back to a pretty bad place. But the one thing you have to hold on to is like in 2024, he played 130 games, hit 20 home runs, and stole 16 bases with a 29% attempt rate on the bases. Last year, he stole 5 bases with a 5% attempt rate, but he had like a leg injury or something. So if he's healthy, you could really see him hitting 30 home runs and stealing 15 to 20 bases. I just don't think you have the batting average. It's kind of like a Buxton. Makes sense to kind of value those two similarly, but
I think the way to treat Joe Adele is how you would treat Adolis Garcia like 3 years ago. Like I think it's very similar profiles. So I feel like yeah, don't depend on the batting average, but like he could be just the new Adolis Garcia, really. Very similar profile.
Swings really hard. I think he's got like 98. He's one of the hardest swingers in the league too. So he's really, the raw power is elite.
Yeah. What about Byron Buxton versus Jordan? If you had to pick one of those guys, like
Jordan,
who are you picking? Like, or are you just avoiding both because their injury concerns are too great?
If you're in one league and if you're in it for the entertainment, when you're in one league where you can't really, if you're in one league and you just want entertainment for 6 months, you probably avoid both. Just like take the guys that'll keep you in the hunt. But Jordan in the 3rd or 4th round is pretty darn attractive because it's been a bunch of injuries, but last year was really the first time he just like wasn't on the field, and it wasn't the back thing, wasn't it? It was different stuff, as broken hand or wrist or something. It wasn't like this back thing. That's maybe the back would have flared up if he was actually playing. I guess that's fair to say. Like he didn't even have time to hurt his back because he wasn't playing. I don't know, but I think Jordan Alvarez has a better chance of staying healthy than people value him at, and he will hit 290 and he will hit homers at like a 40 homer pace. I mean, his 162 game pace is first round caliber, so I like him. But again, if you don't really want to put your whole season on him because it could fall apart, but that's true with anybody. So I like Jordan.
This is what's crazy is he has only played in 677 games in his career, and that's since 2019. 2020, he basically missed the whole season, which I mean, it was the short season. 2019, he only played one half, but I think that was a call up, so I don't know if that's injury related. But like 2023, he only played in 114 games and then 48 last year. So like he just it's not quite like Chase DeLauder level, but it's not good. Like he's only played in 309 games over the last 3 seasons. So he's only averaging like 100 games a year over the last 3 years. So it's like, can you really expect him to play over 130? Like, I feel like the projections are pretty safe where they have him at like 130 games. Like that's like, I wouldn't project him for more than that. Would you? I feel like that's really risky if you think you can get like 140 plus games out of him, because he's only done that twice in his whole career.
Yeah, did it 2 years ago. It makes a difference if you have. So like at my main league, my home league, it's like a 10-team league with 3 outfielders. So it's super easy to find a fill-in. If Jordan goes on the IL for 2 weeks, like you'll get a pretty good replacement value. So that's the kind of stuff you have to consider. Like I would love 130 games of Jordan with decent replacement value in the 3rd or 4th round this year. So that's what I'd say.
Yep. And then on the Byron Buxton side of this, Byron Buxton, we just talked about, had a healthy season finally. He still only played in 126 games, and that was the second most of his entire career. This is a dude who's been playing since 2015.
I think he did hit the
He
IL
has,
once, but they were taking it easy.
yeah, he has one season at 140 games is the most he's ever played, and then last year was 126, was the second most, and then third most is all the way down at 102. So like the projection systems have him at like 125 to 130 games. Do you think that's kind of aggressive? Like I feel like just based on his career averages, that's too high. It should be like 100 or something like that.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing to project, and it makes sense to use last year as the highest weight, but I don't know. I would let Buxton is just the guy that you buy low on when everybody gives up, and when everybody starts to get into it again, you back away. That seems to be the right approach.
Yeah, especially the Twins, man. The Twins are like the least healthy team of all time. Like I don't sure,
and they're not good either. They might be the worst team in the American League. So
yeah. All right, you ready to get to the next 10?
Yeah, and I'm gonna blow my nose. So I'm gonna go off screen after I get this up.
Oh, you
blow
don't
my
want to
nose.
show us your boogers?
You can talk through these next 10. Here it comes.
How did you hold that blow in for? I guess it's not a sneeze. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
If you're gonna sneeze, there's no way you could hold it in that long. All right. So next 10, we've got at 21, Jarren Duran, 22, Roman Anthony. So 2 Red Sox back to back. 23, George Springer. 24, Dylan Beavers. 25, Andy Pages. 26, Jason Dominguez. 27, Michael Harris II. 28, Wilyer Abreu. 29, Dalen Lyle. 30, Lawrence Butler. So this tier, I would say that like maybe Duran and Anthony and Springer could work their way into the last 10 that we were talking about in that tier, but probably none of the rest of these guys would be in that tier. It's like a whole different tier now at this point in time. Duran is still really good, kind of underrated. I feel like right now, for whatever reason, people are just down on him. I don't know if it's because there were like trade rumors that they might trade him to one team or another. Like I know the batting average was down last year, but he was still pretty much, like pacing to be 2025. Like between the last few years here, like we have a 20 homer, 25, 30 steal guy. You know what I mean? So it's like who's going to hit between 260 to 290. That's a really good player. I think he's kind of underrated, especially the Red Sox lineup is pretty strong this year. I know, like, yeah, they don't have Bregman coming back, but like they're going to be a good team. They just got Doc's boy Durbin, so Doc's going to turn into a Red Sox fan now. But I think that people are down on Duran right now. I feel like there's a lot of value there. And then on the other side of the coin, Roman Anthony. I feel like
I'm slow. Overhyped. I had a tweet to put up for Duran. Super great skills. One of the 7 players in the league with 90th percentile or better in both bat speed and sprint speed. Throw out Reese Hines and Garrett Mitchell are here, so it tells you something. Like that's no guarantee, but Buxton, Duran, Julio Rodriguez, O'Neal Cruz, Luis Robert Jr. are the only guys currently in the major leagues and in both top 10 percentiles in both of those. So yeah, I like Duran quite a bit. I echo what you said.
Yeah, I mean this is the thing, right? Like people are going to be drafting Roman Anthony way higher. I've seen people drafting Roman Anthony before like Cody Bellinger, which is crazy in my opinion. I like Anthony a lot. I mean, like he smashes the ball, good plate skills. Definitely had like a lot of luck on his side last year though. 404 BABIP, helping run up his batting average. Yeah. So like, don't expect that. Like I don't think he's as good as like Wyatt Langford. You know what I mean? Like I've seen people drafting him so high. Like you're going to draft him ahead of Chorio or Langford or Bellinger. That's kind of crazy to me. And I'm like, obviously I have Duran ranked ahead of him. Like I like Anthony a lot long term, but for this year, like I feel like people are drafting him too high in redraft leagues right now.
Yeah, so I traded for him in our home league for a 12th round keeper, but the plan there is take what you get this year, and then by the time he's 25, he's like a super stud, hitting 45 homers and maybe hitting 275 or something like that and scoring a ton of runs. But I get it. You're kind of drafted for the upside. You're always the big guy that our big thing. One of our big minor league stats is the age adjusted, level adjusted minor league stats. And he was like, he's 22. He got to the majors as just a fresh 21-year-old or something like that. So he was putting up crazy numbers, getting to be the number 1 overall prospect in baseball as like a 19-year-old. So this guy is like the total limit there. And you got to pay that price. Your point is a good one that for redraft, you're paying kind of that long-term cost is kind of baked into every price that comes up, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense if you're only drafting for 1 year. So I think this is about right. There probably won't be steals. There might be a lower batting average. He really doesn't swing, so it's better for OBP. Like, I think as the leadoff man there, it certainly makes sense that his goal would be like, let me just get on base a bunch for these guys behind me and kind of just like get my footing. But like we've talked about over and over again, in like a standard roto league where your ratio category is average, you don't get credit for those walks nearly as much. You'll get some runs coming in because he's getting on base, but a little bit overrated in certain league types. And again, you're paying a higher price than you probably should for redraft.
Yeah, people don't realize this too, is that he had a 51% ground ball rate last year. And that's not a phenomenon. Like, this is his whole career. In AAA last year, he had a 52% ground ball rate. In 2024, he had a 48% ground ball rate across all minor league levels. In 2023, he had a 48% ground ball rate throughout all minor league levels. 2022 is 60% ground ball rate. So he doesn't have the best batted, like, he doesn't get to the best angles. Like, yeah, he hits the crap out of the ball. He hits the ball hard, but he's almost like a less athletic James Wood. So like, I wouldn't draft him as high as people are, because the angles are not great, and that's why his hit tool. If you look at his F scores, his hit is only like 94. It's because he's not getting to the best angles. So like, yeah, he hits the ball really hard, very consistently. He barrels the ball a lot, but he just hits the ball on the ground too much. So keep that
Springer,
in mind.
you're going in with Springer here. I mean, I guess we're
like
kind of thinned
Springer.
out already. It's kind of crazy that this is only his third screenshot.
Dude, F scores love Springer. Look at this guy. He was so good last year. He really rebound. As long as he's healthy, like, I don't care that he's old. He's like 36. He's holding up, man. Like, because he's an athlete, and he's been very good at staying healthy. And even though, like, in the minors when he was a rookie, when he was like a prospect, even I remember, dude, I've been playing fantasy baseball so long. I remember when he was a prospect and he had like a 40-40 season or something like that in the minors. He never was stealing bags like that in the majors. He's always been like 15 or 20. So I think he's been relatively safe and like has helped his legs kind of like keep him.
What happened in 2023, 2024 then here?
2023 was a fine season actually under the hood. 2024 was a bad season under the hood. Bad BABIP though, definitely weighed him down. 245 BABIP that year. And for whatever reason, he was not hitting the ball hard. Like, his EVs have been like very consistent throughout his whole career. And then 2024 is down. So I don't know, maybe he had an injury that he was dealing with that he didn't tell anybody about, or maybe like he just like stopped like practicing as hard. And he's like, whatever, I'm cool. But I feel like, especially this year, the Blue Jays are such a good team. And like, apparently their locker room is like really good. Like, everyone talks about how much fun it is to play there. You had like Shane Bieber renew there for like really cheap and surprise everybody because he wanted to go back so bad. So I think that like Springer is the leader of that team, and he's gonna try really, really hard. I think like he's gonna want to beat the Dodgers. So like, I kind of trust that he's gonna have a good year this year, as long as he stays healthy.
You start going down narrative street, I think you're grasping, but we'll see.
Dude, he was good last year. All you've got to do is look at the metrics last year. You can see it hasn't been any fall off.
36. I don't buy it. We'll see.
Okay.
We need a bet. We need a bet board here.
I know you're buying. I know you're buying Dylan Beavers. Dylan Beavers is super underrated. Okay, so like, what is this disparity between picks of Roman Anthony and Dylan Beavers in FBC right now? I'm very curious to find that out, because I would pick Anthony ahead of Beavers, but barely. You can see here in this ranking, and I bet that the round difference is like 10 rounds or something like that.
But Anthony is sure to play every day.
Beavers might get, because the Orioles are stupid, they might like get him into platooning situations, but he shouldn't be. He has no split issues. He's really good at everything. So like, I really don't understand why they would do that with him.
This is tragic that sometimes the chart puts the same color on two guys. It makes it really ugly. But yeah, Beavers is around 330. He's been moving up a little bit since they did the thing for Taylor Ward, right? Because there are just fair questions about if he'll play. And Anthony's expensive. If ADP 50 for Roman Anthony is
Roman Anthony's a 4th or 5th rounder, and then Beavers is like a 20th rounder. I'll take Beavers in the 20th over Roman Anthony in the 4th or 5th all day.
Yeah. But Beavers could hit. I don't know. He could end up at AAA, man. I don't know.
No, he won't.
If he struggles and they have like O'Neal healthy.
Tyler O'Neill's a walking injury.
You were wrong. The last time you were this confident, you were saying that Goldschmidt was going to be a Diamondback. So you were wrong about that.
Yeah, good point. That's tragic too, right there, man. Them signing Carlos Santana instead of bringing their guy Goldie back. What is that?
Maybe they burned some bridges, man.
Yeah, it's Andrew McCutchen of the Diamondbacks right there. Anyway, we got Andy Pages at 25. People are underrating him this year for whatever reason. Like,
see the center fielder? That's the question.
Yeah, who else do they have? Who else?
Tommy Edman.
Yeah, you got Edman. You need Edman to play in the middle in the infield.
Second base, maybe.
And Edman was pretty bad last year too. So
yes, but Edman plays against lefties. Pages maybe a little bit of a platoon, something like that. But the outfield was not very well. Okay, Kyle Tucker makes the outfield a lot better, but it's like Hernandez and anybody else, or like one injury kind of puts them in. I think it's fine. And you're right. Like, I had him last year. It was a pretty great fantasy season for a while. Like 27 homers, 13 steals. It came in a little bit of a wave pattern. It was pretty bad in like July, and didn't, May, July, and then the end of the season was kind of mediocre, but April and June he's great. So I don't know. It was good though. I think he's underrated.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to probably go 25 homers, 10 steals for pretty cheap, I think, right now.
And like, if you're hitting 8th in the Dodgers lineup, is that like hitting cleanup in the Rockies lineup? Or maybe that's not the greatest example because Coors, but like, is 8th in the lineup for the Dodgers just as good as like 5th for any other team? That's a pretty
probably for most teams. Just look at who's hitting around him. It's more about who's hitting in front of him and who's hitting right behind him.
And you have Ohtani. I know you hit 9th for the Dodgers. You get to get on base for Ohtani, and just like it's just you really should lean into the Dodgers because there's going to be so many more counting stats. I'm actually thinking about doing a post about that, like just kind of where to find runs and RBIs, what spots to go to, or what guys might be a little bit undervalued, team context, lineup context, and stuff. But we'll be getting more lineups and stuff in a couple weeks when spring training games go. But that's stuff to note. But Pages gets a boost there, as all the Dodgers do.
So this one, 26, Jason Dominguez, you can get him at way better value than that. Most leagues, you can get him way cheaper than that. People are concerned about a platoon with him. He's a switch hitter. I know he was like not good against lefties last year, but in the past, he didn't really have those issues in the minors. So I think that it's more about just getting him the reps. He's still only going to be 23 this year. And there's like people already ready to give up on him. Like, how many Yankees fans like, oh, they should trade Dominguez. He's not that great, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this guy was one of the top prospects coming up. He has a ton of pedigree. He just needs to get the playing time, I feel like, against all bats to get a chance here. He's a really great athlete. Like, he's super fast.
Is this fake? About him maybe starting in AAA?
I saw that from whatever that is. I doubt it. Like, I really doubt it. I've seen him play live, man. This guy hits the ball so hard. Like, I remember I saw him last spring, and he was smashing it. Like, he was hitting the ball so hard. I don't know. Like, people who are down on him, I think is crazy to me. The F scores still really like him. Everything behind him. Obviously, the power F score is not good because of bad angles, but he's young and can fix that and didn't have that issue in the minors. I think it's more about just get him reps. Like, he needs the reps. And so if the Yankees give him the reps, I think he's going to be good. And I think there's value here. Like, 26 is probably too high. The reason I have him that high is because of the F scores. The F scores really like him. So, I mean, I don't know. If the Yankees mess around with playing time, then it's going to ding him. Like, then you're going to take a guy who's getting full playing time, like Abreu or Harris or whatever ahead of him. The last guy on this list I want to talk about is Dalen Lyle. Look at that 120 hit score. That's just so beautiful. Lyle might have one of the best hit tools in the major leagues, which is crazy to say. This guy just came up. 90.8% zone contact. It's pretty phenomenal. He has good control of the zone. And a lot of people may not realize, but in half of a season last year, he had 9 homers and 8 steals. So, like, this guy could maybe go 2020 or close to 2020 with, look at that XBA, 100th percentile at XBA. Like, this guy might hit 300 and go 2020, which is insane. That's super underrated.
I don't think that's happening. I don't think the 20 homers is real, and I kind of balk at.
All right. So 290 with 18 bombs and 16 steals.
I'm gonna get a board here. We're gonna put all our disagreements down and have a contest. But I wrote a couple things about him. Whenever you see these kind of shorter seasons with high XBA, like, it always comes down the next year. So I think you might be looking at 270 batting average. Pitchers might figure him out. I don't think the power is necessarily going to play, but Yeah, he can hit a bunch of singles, and he can steal bases. And the Nationals, it's not like there's dudes competing with him, so I don't think it can go too poorly. But I think the ceiling might be a little overrated.
I don't know, man. It's 100th percentile sweet spot too. This guy just like knows he's got some magical bat skills here. Anyone else in this grouping you want to talk about?
Michael Harris, the two is. I guess we don't. I mean, nobody wants to talk about that guy, but like terrible first half, elite second half. Will he hit? He probably gets buried 7th, 8th, 9th in the Braves lineup, which sucks. I don't know, like 2020 ceiling. I think he's basically done that the last 2 years. I think he was exactly 2020 last year, if I remember correctly. Yep. So I think there's still some upside. I mean, still 25 years old. He was another guy that came up to the majors super, super young. So, but the chase heavy stuff, the swings at times, really aggressive. He'll have some slumps, and he'll probably hit 9th. So I guess that's limited.
Look, maybe I should have Lyle ranked ahead of him. Lyle could do basically maybe a couple fewer homers, a couple fewer steals, but he's more likely to hit,
Harris has like legit
40 points of batting average.
Harris hits the ball very hard. He just has to lift it. So he has that like power upside, I think, more so.
Yeah.
That's the wrong screenshot. Sorry. Let's go to.
Oh man, you're failing as a producer today, John.
Yes. Where do we go? How about this? Numbers 31 to 40.
31 to 40. We have Ceddanne Rafael at 31. Talk about a second half. Bad first half, good second half for him. If you combined Pete Crow Armstrong's first half and Rafaela's second half, then you've got like the best. You got Ronald Acuna then. 32, you got Kerry Carpenter. 33, Luis Robert Jr. Now with the Mets. 34, O'Neal Cruz. 35, Randy Arozarena. 36, Stephen Kwan. 37, Jack Kaggs. 38, Cam Smith. 39, Sal Frelick. 40, Noel Marte.
Rafael actually had a great middle. He would be the torso of the perfect season. He finished poorly. He hit 208 in August, 1 homer, hit 244 in September, 1 homer. But June through July, he was hitting 285 with 11 bombs and 7 steals. So it was the middle thing. Just swings so much. I don't get the price this year. I think this ranking is fine. You're way lower than ADP. I just think the price is kind of crazy. He's not going to be at the top of the lineup. Again, he's a super low OBP guy. His OBP's last 3 years are 281, 272, and 295. So if you're in some kind of points league or OBP league, just like steer clear. But there's some power, there's some speed. He'll be in center field for them. He can play shortstop. He plays all over, so the playing time is safe, but not really a fan of his. The guys we should probably talk about, we talked about Caglione already. We don't really have to go back into that. Go back into the first base podcast for him. Cam Smith, though, like great skills, power, speed, and he kind of just had that rough first year, but we like buying in on the second year young first round pick talent. Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, they promoted him so fast. Yeah. Like that they didn't do him any favors by doing that.
Why do you think the Cubs got rid of him? Isn't it weird to trade your first round pick before?
Well,
it's just they had to do it to get Cal Tucker. They couldn't pass up. I mean, weird.
I think so. Like, I mean, they got one of the best players in baseball for him. It's not like
for 1 year
they got, It's not like they got nothing for him. You know what I mean?
It's like they must have believed in him to draft him, but then it seems like to trade him for 1 year of Cal Tucker, unless they were under some illusion that they would sign Tucker long term, which doesn't seem likely because they didn't even try. So it was like we believe in him to draft him in the first round, but then we don't believe in him to trade him for 1 year of a player.
Well, I think it was this. They sold high on him because like he came in and had like a really good 30 games or whatever in his first debut with them. I mean, he just tore it up. Like, look, his 32 games with the Cubs after getting drafted. He hit 313, 396, 609 with 7 bombs. They probably thought he's good. We like him, but he's not this good. Let's get rid of him now. Let's trade him now at the highest possible value that we have on it, that we can ever get from this guy, and get something that we can use for this year. And I think the Cubs' problem is they didn't push all the way in last year. Like they had Tucker, and they just like they didn't push all the way in when they should have. You can't go half in. They went half in the pool. They dipped one leg in and didn't just fucking jump all the way in. So.
Now we gotta watch the swear words, Tim. Come on, you're not even a Cubs fan. But if you stand in the middle of the road, Cubs, you get hit by a truck, and that's another life lesson. This is life lessons outfield preview as well. Noel Marte, It's definitely stuck into right field now. He's going to have to figure that out because Suarez comes in. I know he's the DH, but like Marte's path to getting back to third was like Cabrian Hayes. They give up on him, but you would think if they give up on Hayes now, maybe Suarez goes there or something. So Marte's got to figure it out in right field. He's going to get a chance, but can he play good enough out there to just stay in the lineup?
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, also you've got like Steer going to play in the outfield now too. You know what I mean? It's like because they're going to try to get at bats for Steer. They've got Sal Stewart, who's going to be first base, I guess. So I don't know. They have enough guys that play a bunch of different positions that people are going to get DH reps, and I don't know, like someone's going to get hurt, and it's going to work itself out,
And
right? Like life will find a way.
He's possibly their third best hitter. I mean, I don't think that would be crazy. You know, Ellie, Suarez, and then is it him? So they want the bat in there.
Yeah. Sal Stewart is probably their third.
I knew you'd say that, yeah. But he's easily a top 8 bat for them. So they want to find a way. So that helps.
Yep, for sure. And Frelick can matter if you're in a batting average league or like a points league. Like Frelick is pretty good for points leagues. Dude gets on base all the time.
We haven't seen Brian Reynolds yet.
No, he's next tier.
This is getting crazy. Here. O'Neal Cruz there. I'm buying. I don't know. Don't listen to me on the Pirates. I'm getting way too excited. Ozuna, Lowe, like it actually looks like a team that could make the playoffs, and that is so rare. But let's just roll right into the Reynolds thing because Tommy Pham said, "Hey, the PNC Park humidor was broken last year, and now it's fixed, but it was killing us as hitters." And to me, my initial reaction from Pham was like, "Okay, you're trying to get a contract, and you want to justify why you sucked for a lot of last year." But then you look at it, and like the PNC Park factor just randomly it's never a great hitter's park, but it just like tanked last year. And maybe it's because some of these hitters just weren't any good. Like that stuff does factor in a little bit, but the metrics I use, you try to factor that stuff out and just keep it neutral. And something was going on in PNC Park, it seems like, and maybe Pham was really onto something. I mean, for how like crazy that guy is and how little control he has of his emotions, he's a guy that knows the numbers and he's sharp. So for that reason, for those two reasons, maybe the park factor kind of gets back to normal, which still isn't great, but it's up from last year. And then this Pirates lineup is, I don't know, 30, 40% better than last year. So Reynolds and Cruz, I'd like to buy in on that. You have them at 45. Under Varsho, under Marcy, and Burleson. That's
actually, I would definitely be buying Reynolds over Cruz just based on value because Cruz gets overhyped every single year. Like it's crazy. This guy has so much power upside. Like he's always leading the league in max EVs, but he only has his record amount of home runs is 21. He's never hit more than 21 home runs in a season, which is insane for someone who hits the ball that hard. I mean,
just imagine if he goes to a 28% K rate with a 48% ground ball rate, like that explodes. Those home runs explode. I was there. I was at the game where he hit the hardest ball ever hit. It was like 121 point something mile an hour line drive single. I think it was a walk-off. It was one of the 2 Pirate games I've been at in the last like 4 years. And I was there. So nobody cares about that. But, and again, the EVs, like they don't even play that well for him because they're always, and the other thing with him, it's actually really interesting. I wish I had the plot. He has line drive barrels. Like 90% of barrels are fly balls, categorized as fly balls, but he hits his line drive so hard that he gets into that little sliver of the plot to make like a line drive barrel. So he has a high barrel rate, but it doesn't actually work because it's not. His barrels have way lower of a chance to go over the fence. So as what you said, as hard as he hits the ball, the home run upside isn't that great, but the floor is there. And I don't know, maybe he has 25, 26 and he steals a bunch of bases. So that's fine. But that was last year anyways.
Yep. Okay. Rest of these guys in this tier, kind of interesting. We got Jacob Marcy here. I don't know how much you're buying Jacob Marcy. Varsho is actually good. Like I like Varsho a lot if he can still stay healthy. I feel like Varsho is pretty underrated.
He's a batting average, absolute tank on your batting average though. So you gotta.
Yeah. I mean, like he'll hit. There's worse guys. Like he'll hit 230, 240, but you could get 20 bombs and 10 steals out of him. Pretty safely, I feel like. So I feel like he's kind of underrated. Jacob, do you expect Marcy to be better than Varsho? I mean, like Marcy has never really had power in the past, and then this last year he comes up, hits 5 tanks in the majors. So maybe you get steals. Yeah, you should get steals because he's fast. But the main thing for him is like he always had lower batting averages in the minors, and then all of a sudden his BABIP gets it, 260
Right.
BABIP to get to a 292 average. So I would expect him to be more like a 240 or 250 hitter or something like that.
I think
Who
it could
yeah,
go.
no skills, but
I think it could go pretty horribly for Marcy, but there's skills there. I'm not saying it will go horribly, but it's just like the floor is super low because I don't know. I hadn't heard of him last year. Was this guy even like a prospect that people believed in?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean,
Okay.
like Welsh was really high on him always, and I kind of liked him for a little bit when he was with the Padres before he got traded over. So I know F scores have always been high on him because this is why, because he was always really fast and he always took a walk. So
Yeah.
like when you can get on base and you're really fast like that, yeah, F scores are gonna like you. Especially it's gonna read like the F scores is gonna look at the BABIP and they're like, how does this guy have a 220 BABIP when he's fast? It's weird.
Yeah.
So it's gonna like average it back to 300 or
And I
whatever.
guess we're kind
But
of at the part where you're drafting for categories. In points leagues is a different
yeah,
story. Like Reynolds and I like that you have Reynolds and Ian Happ. Those two have just gone together for me. Like they've been right by each other in my rankings like every year. It's just like take the veteran that'll play and they'll do okay. Otherwise, outside of like the boring veteran types, throw Hernandez into that category. Teoscar, Burleson as well. You can throw him in there. Like solid across the board, but nothing special. Nothing that's gonna take you to the next level. But other than that, you take your like, okay, in a roto league, a categories league, at this point, you're like, what am I weak in? And Chandler Simpson is this kind of guy. So you have Taylor Ward here for power, a few steals, but pretty much homers and runs scored only. And then you have Simpson. So my take is that I wouldn't touch Chandler Simpson in like a points league where the steals really don't make that big of an impact. He's going to hit 0 home runs unless he hits a inside the park or something like that. Eventually that's going to happen. It'll be funny. But if the way to take Simpson is you plan it the whole time, right? You come into your draft, your categories draft saying, I'm going to take like the Austin Rileys, the Pete Alonsos, the guys that you get a little bit cheaper because they don't steal bases. And then you catch all up. You jump a round or two on Simpson. You catch up in steals immediately, and you get all that profit from the other guys. But that puts all your chips on, puts all your what's the expression? I don't know. Puts all your chips in one bag.
What if then someone reaches on Simpson and screws up your whole plan?
Or what if he gets hurt? What if he doesn't steal 60 bases? So it's risky, but it could work. It could work very well.
Yeah, for sure. Other guys in this tier, Carson Bench, I really like.
That's the ceiling.
Yeah, he should be breaking camp. Could be like a 2020 guy with a solid batting average. I mean, like he'll probably, if he does break camp, be hitting like 8th or 9th or something to start the season in that lineup. But he could work his way up. Like he'll never get to the top just because you've got like Lindor and Soto there and, Semien. You've got like these vets. But he could be like a number 5 or number 6 hitter, I think, if he comes in and actually does pretty well. So I like Benj a lot. I think he's pretty underrated and he's good value. I know Taylor Ward is someone who might be good value too. Like I think that right after the trade, you probably saw a spike in his NFBC draft status, but I think that's probably cooled off by now because there's been a lot of other transactions. Elliot Ramos is kind of underrated. It's like tough ballpark for him for power, but like he's pretty underrated. Like he's less a lock to hit 260 with 20 bombs. So this is a good counting stats tier, I would say.
Yeah, just beware of what you're giving up because like if you're taking Varsho, you got to build around because it's going to hit 230. If you're taking Simpson, you're getting 0 home runs from that spot. So be smart.
Yep. Next grouping, Jose Altuve at 51 here. Pretty interesting. I think they're moving him back to second, they said.
Yes.
So I guess, he'll have outfield for this season, in most leagues just because he played there all year last year.
He'll be using him as a second baseman though. So don't, second base is so shallow that if you take him, you won't be using him in the outfield. Probably.
He's still good in points leagues. He's not as good as he was. And he's obviously like, he's getting older. He's going to be 36 too, like Springer. He's hitting more for power than he ever has in the past and like less speed. So I don't know, like the projections on him have him like 20 homers, 10, 12 steals. That's probably right. Like, will he ever be a 300 hitter again? I doubt it. Just because he's going to be losing bat speed. He's going to be losing foot speed year over year over year. So I don't know. Like, do I have him too low here, John, just based on name value, or do you think this is an appropriate spot for him?
It's kind of like the opposite of Roman Anthony. Here's his blurry batting averages by year: Altuve 278, 299, 311, 295, and then 264. So, is it crazy to think he bounces up from last year? No, I don't think so. But it's the opposite of Anthony in that you're kind of paying for the ceiling with Anthony, and with Altuve, you're kind of getting a discount because this floor is so bad. Like maybe the age just finally gets to him. But you're right. He's really just kind of been smart about it, and he's like, I'm going to keep my value by hitting extra home runs, pulling him into this Crawford boxes. Like the air pool has really come up. He's taking advantage of the park, so I think it'll be fine. And at this, like, I don't know, at his cost, I'm not excited about it. There's just really no upside, more downside than upside. But yeah, you're pretty low on him, I'd say.
Yeah, 52. I got Brandon Nimmo. 53. Dylan Cruz.
Why so low on Cruz? Because he's one of my buys again.
He just hasn't really. I don't know. Look at his F score. His hit tool 88 for F scores. Like, it's just not good. Like the underlying metrics is just not ideal for what he's doing. So I mean, like, yeah, like he had 246 BABIP. It should track up. There's no way his BABIP should be that low, and he should be better. Like, I don't expect him to be as bad as he was last year for sure. But I don't know. Like, that lineup isn't even that great, and he just doesn't get to good angles. Again, like 50% ground ball rate, John, only a 15% line drive rate. Like, these things should improve theoretically, but like even 2024, 57% ground ball rate. So like he just doesn't get to good angles. Yeah, he can hit the ball hard, awesome, and he's fast. Okay, cool. But like, how about you like hit the ball and you can't. You're not going to win if you're hitting a bunch of fly balls or ground balls, right? Like you got to be able to hit line drives. You got to make barrels. He's just not doing it.
Yeah, he's played like 110 games, 120 games in the majors, and he was hurt, really hurt last year playing. I don't think he was really. He might not have been healthy all year. So it's just I'm trying to buy in to hope that he can improve, and if he does improve, if he takes an Ellie route, and because Ellie had a 56%, 57% ground ball rate in his first year too, and now that's fixed. So upside.
Yeah, it could be nice for dynasty redraft. I don't know. Like, it's just I'm from the Show Me State. So originally I'm from Missouri. So show me. 54 Cowser. So we're going into platoon territory here. So I think he's going to be the platoon, not Beavers, because Cowser can't hit lefties.
Who plays center field? Does Ward play center field?
Beavers can play center field.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
What can't he do? Does Dylan Beavers, like, can you say anything negative about Dylan Beavers?
He doesn't have an elite tool. He's just above average at everything. So,
like a great dad. Does he have a bunch of kids and doesn't eat to eat raw milk and drink raw milk and stuff?
I'm not Doc. I don't know how close his birthday is to 9/11. Yeah. 55 is CJ Kafis. Kafis is going to get full-time playing time. So this is where you get into this tier where you're like, okay, like how good is a guy who's going to get full-time playing time no matter what versus a guy like Evan Carter who's going to be in a platoon. And you have to kind of start figuring out at this point in time, like, do I want the platoon guys or do I want the guy, who might be better on a per plate appearance basis, or do I want guys who's just going to play no matter what? Because Kafis was one of their top prospects. Like, he's just going to play no matter what, I think, and he'll be okay. He'll probably hit 260 with 20 homers or something with kind of like boring stats. And Evan Carter maybe could be way more awesome on a per plate appearance thing, but he can't hit lefties at all. So he's going to be on a platoon. You got Cedric Mullins going to the Rays. He's going to be in a platoon. He's not even a switch hitter anymore.
Carter and Mullins are terrible. Don't draft them.
Yeah. And then you got like Mickey Moniak. It's like, okay, former first round pick, then all of a sudden like terrible for like 6 years and then blows up in Colorado. It's like, how real is that? Or is this just Brenton Doyle all over again? Or like Nolan Jones every all over again. The Rockies have a guy like that every year.
Right, you believe it with Joe Adell.
1 year, and then Doyle.
You're all aboard Moniak, Joe Adell, but you won't give Mickey Moniak the same benefit.
I trust Joe Adell way more, dude. Joe Adell just smashes the ball. You just look at the under the hood stuff. We got Chase DeLauder here at 59. Will he stay healthy? Like, if he stays healthy, he's going to play every day and maybe hit like third in that lineup. So like DeLauder could be a nice bargain here. Anthony Santander coming off injury. Is he going to be the same guy? So
this is crazy low on Santander. I don't want him.
He hasn't played in a year, dude. He missed a whole year.
Man, what if he's hitting 30 home runs again in the Blue Jays lineup? Like, that could be.
Yeah, or what if he just collect his paycheck now that he got paid and he's terrible? Like, you don't know.
Yeah, he was never great.
He has not been good since 2023.
he
Even
has
2024, he only hit 235. Like, I mean, he hit a bunch of bombs, but like he wasn't great.
Yeah. I don't like him, but this is really low. I mean, but below Evan Carter is bonkers. That's crazy.
I mean, like, what are you gonna get? Like, there's no guarantees here. He played 54 games last year and hit 175. Like, at least Evan Carter is still 23 and has the upside. You know, has more upside because his career trajectory is heading up rather than down. So, like, Santander is 31. So, like, that he could be done, man. He could just be over already.
Okay. Mickey Moniak, I'm going to play the crap out of in DFS when the Rockies are at home. I love that guy, but not for season. Not someone you want to depend on. But in DFS, that stuff like that, you know, make some bets on him. Whatever. He's a fun player, high ceiling, high per game ceiling, you could say, but not even in the projected starting lineup right now. So that's a problem.
All right, we'll go fast. We got 40 more guys. We're gonna go really fast. So we'll try to speed up the pace here.
Outfield's tough. It's really tough.
It's a bunch of guys. Well, most people split it into like 2 or 3 podcasts, but I have 3 podcasts reading on Outfield. So listen to the Dynasty one and listen to the Prospect one for those guys. 61, Colby Thomas, terrible plate skills, but hits the crap out of the ball. 62, Addison Barker.
Here. Oh my goodness, Adolis Garcia. Go ahead. We got to read them all for the people listening.
63, Jerkson Profar. 64, Josh Lowe. 65, Trent Grisham. Will he actually do what he did again? I don't know. 66, Brent Doyle. 67, Adelise. 68, Victor Scott II. Chandler Simpson Jr., right? 69, Justin Crawford. Another speed guy. 70, Owen Casey. Can't hit lefties.
So low on Doyle and Garcia. I like both those guys.
Oh, man. Okay. So Doyle actually was pretty good in the second half. So I kind of, buy that a little bit. I just don't like Rockies players at all. You never know what you're going to get. So Adelise, like, how much is he going to play? Will he rebound? Yeah.
I think he got crushed by the Texas. Texas was obviously like cheating for DeGrom or something. I don't know. That Park stuff was just insane. It's on my Twitter feed if you want to look at it, but him and Semyon just got absolutely boned by the Park factor. There was something going on. It's so strange. So going from there to Philly, I know he's 33 and the batting average has always been terrible. Absolutely. Like he's going to have bad batting. It's the same thing about Varsho I just said, but I'm in as like my 4th or 5th outfielder in those kind of leagues.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's a good point. He could be the same as Varsho. He's just older. He's like older Varsho. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good comp. Those two pretty close.
Yeah,
together.
I agree with that. All right. Anyone else in this one? Or you're gonna go to the next
10? No, that's good. Scott and Crawford, or you'd probably take whatever. Scott and Crawford
I like Crawford better. I mean, I'm a Cardinals fan, but I definitely like Crawford better.
If you do the like Simpson idea and somebody beats you to him, then those are kind of your fallbacks. You're just kind of taking those two for steals. So
yeah, Scott's gonna hit 9th, so it's like way less plate appearances. Crawford will probably hit 9 too. Next 10, we got Austin Hayes. Not the White Sox. I've got to update that. I kind of like it. Austin Hayes a little bit if he's healthy. He was pretty good last year when he was healthy. White Sox, again, Hitters Park. I talked about that before when we talked about Murakami, is that like people forget that White Sox ballpark is a Hitters Park. It's just like because they've been so bad lately, everyone forgets. 72, Laureano had a pretty decent bounce back last year, kind of like a decent like bench player, 5th, 6th outfielder or whatever. Jeff McNeil, traded Athletics now, so got to change the little tag on that one. Batting average only. Lars Nootbaar, 74.
I'd say
he needs to swing the bat moment. He needs like Nootbaar is always hurt and he doesn't swing the bat enough. I really like him.
He's hurt right now too.
Like everyone knows I like him a lot, but it's just like I don't know, man. Like will he figure it out?
McNeil could hit some more homers and he's going to play a lot more. You'd think he's their like main second baseman. So I like McNeil, but there's basically no ceiling. And Nootbaar is like questionable for opening day already, so I don't know why you would.
TJ Friedel, another guy who's hurt all the time, but it can be good when he's healthy. 76, Victor Robles, one season wonder. 77, Hector Rodriguez, but that's my homie. That's my boy. We'll talk about him in the prospect one.
Yeah.
78, Jung-Hoo Lee. 79, David Schneider. 80, Dominic Canzone. Hector Rodriguez, he is hurt though by this Eugenio Suarez signing because like I thought he could break camp, but probably now not, just because they're going to force Steer into the outfield. Noelvi's going to be in the outfield, so kind of like taking up some outfield spots now.
Yeah. Jung-Hoo
Canzone I like for DFS too. Canzone's a DFS guy for sure, and so is David Schneider. Really, it's just those guys are platoon guys. So
I'm going to get you into DFS. We're going to be playing some DraftKings. I know you're not you haven't dabbled too much, but that's what we're doing
No,
this year.
I haven't. I'll team up with you.
Can you do it in Florida? You can do that in Florida, right?
I don't even know. You can
Canzone's
do any.
you can't.
You can do anything in Florida except talk bad about Israel.
Oh, yeah. Can you? I thought you couldn't sports bet in Florida.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
Missouri, you couldn't until this year, I think, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Canzone, very good for your leagues where they're super deep and you can bench guys daily because he will mash righties, but not play against lefties. So 81 through 90.
Yep. Harrison Bader, 81. Probably going to start every day. I don't know. Like, usually he was only playing against lefties with the Cardinals, but he's was pretty good last year as an everyday guy. Matt Wallner, 82. Jordan Beck, 83. Willie Castro, 84. Colorado Rockies, multi-position eligibility. 85, Tyler O'Neill, like 2 decent seasons, never healthy. 86, Luis Matos. 87, Brooks Baldwin. 88, Brandon Marsh. 89, Isaac Collins. 90, Wenciel Perez. Isaac Collins is kind of interesting. Got traded to the Royals. Looks like he'll probably play every day in that lineup. Like, 27-year-old breakout out of nowhere. Like, how real is that? So I don't know. Kind of interesting, just because I think he's gonna get every day at bats. But who do you want to talk about in this tier? Anyone? I'll kind of blah.
Yeah, Jordan Beck will play, and he's got some homers and steals, so he's the upside guy. And Isaac Collins could be like a decent points league guy if the Royals really believe in him. We just don't know what they'll do with him. But yeah, it's some upside in here. I don't know. Brandon Marsh is platoon, but he's better than people think. So there's some guys here for your super deep leagues. I like Matt Wallner, but again, like probably a platoon and probably a lower batting average. But he was hurt last year. It's just like elite raw power. So there's still some guys here that you can like add on to your team to fill needs and stuff. But we're pretty deep in here.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next 10. We ran out to 100. 91 through. Oh, what did you do there, John? You stopped at 99. What's wrong with you? You don't want to give people a full 100.
That's what I didn't.
Yeah. 91 is Andrew Benintendi. The dude's going to play. Not good. Everybody knows that, but he's going to get at bats. 92 is Stanton. Yeah, you'll get home runs from Stanton. Nothing else. 93, Jesus Sanchez. 94, Jordan Walker. I am not, all the Cardinals fans are like, look at Jordan Walker. He went to Driveline, blah, blah, blah. I'm not buying it until I see it. This guy has never been able to get the ball off the ground. I'm not trusting it at all. 95, Kemp Alderman. That's Doc's boy. I like Alderman a lot, but I don't think he's going to break camp. When he's up, I'm going to like him. 96, Alejandro Osuna. Super underrated with the Rangers here. Like F-scores really like him. Really solid player. I always liked him when he's in the minors. Kind of an underrated prospect. And make it playing time.
My model says to play him in DFS every time he's in the lineup. My skill projections are great on him.
He's a good player. Like he's like a worse version of Beavers. He's just pretty solid at everything. He's not above average. He's just like solid at everything. But yeah, 97, Jacob Melton could be a fun player if he can stay healthy for the Rays. And if they actually play him, it's just the Rays platoon capital, right? Platoon city. So like, will he play? If they start playing him at the beginning of the year, I would pick him up. Like, watch Jacob Melton. If you're in like a 12-teamer, he's not going to get drafted. But just watch him in the first week, and if they're playing him every day, then add him immediately. I would say
power speed there. Add him up. 117, 131. You can do both of those things.
For him, it's just all about playing time because he's good when he's healthy and when he plays. 98, Drew Gilbert with the Giants. Pretty fun player. Played all right last year. F-scores kind of like him. Kind of looks like the 4th outfielder for the Giants, though. 99, Jake Bowers with the Brewers. And you hit number 100. Who's number 100 here?
Jake McCarthy.
Oh, Jake McCarthy, number 100 with Colorado. Colorado
interesting.
They have a bunch of dudes in the outfield right now. Like, how are they going to play all these guys between well, I guess what's his face? Really going to be in the middle infield. But yeah, you've got
Beck, McCarthy.
Yeah, you're not even thinking about Veen. You got Veen in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They got a lot of outfielders on the Rockies. So, but McCarthy could be a fun, little landing spot for him. The Rockies should play him. They should want to play him and be like, hey, we could turn this into a trade piece or something. But the Rockies never trade. But there's a new GM there in town now, so maybe that changes. But that's your top 100 outfielders for redraft. Who's my craziest ranking out of all these guys, John? Adelise?
That was. I bet I got. I don't know. I guess not. Like, I guess Garcia. I'm probably a little bit too excited. Yeah, I mean, some of the guys I reacted to. I mean, I don't remember the names, but you have some. You took some stands for sure. So my outfield preview is already out. Part 1, part 2. I've been finishing up. I was writing it when Tim said, "Hey, can we do this podcast?" So got interrupted. But
sorry.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to MLB Data Warehouse. Go. Someone subscribe so John will shut up and then he'll realize it was worth quitting his writing to do the podcast. And then again, if you're interested in advertising with us, reach out to us. And the prospect package is still available. I know you have not drafted yet, so make sure you buy the prospect package so that you get the F scores all heat mapped. You get dynasty rankings for 3-year and 5-year. You get redraft rankings, and you get all my prospect stuff, FYPDs, international draft stuff. So check that out over there on MLB Data Warehouse. And we will see you next time. Doc and I have a live podcast coming. What? Yes, live podcast coming next time on the podcast.
I'd like to.
Warehouse
I don't know if it's possible to get me on that, but that probably
no.
not.
Dude, we're gonna need you. We're gonna need you to produce that because my laptop is broken, and that's what we're gonna be recording from is a broken laptop. So the production value is gonna be utter crap unless you're there to help us.
All right, we'll see if we can pull that off.
I just guilted you. All right,
I would love to. I would love to see what that's going to look like. That could be a total mess. You're going to be like at a brewery or something. You said so.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. That's gonna be a fun one. So check that out. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Peace out.